What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. I want to talk to you today about a middleweight, light heavyweight, and heavyweight champion. He was an Australian fighter, better known as David Ritchie, and he was known to the boxing world as the man with the educated left. His name was Davy Sands. He was a fantastic fighter. I first heard about Davy Sands from my grandfather back in the 70s, and he told me how much of a masterful fighter he was. And the number one thing he wanted to always see was a fight between Davy Sands, the United States middleweight champion, Sugar Ray Robinson. And that fight almost came into fruition. But unfortunately for Sugar Ray Robinson, he would lose a fight between Randy Turpin in 1951. And in Ray Robinson's contract, he always had a clause in case he lost a fight, especially a championship fight, he would have to have a rematch. And that he did in 1951. At the Polo Grounds, he would knock out Randy Turpin and regain his middleweight championship status. But at that point in time, Davy Sands would move up to the heavyweight division and win the Australian heavyweight championship. So Ray Robinson would move up to the light heavyweight division and face Joey Maxim for the light heavyweight championship. This is in 1952, and then shortly after that, Davy Sands, along with 15 passengers, would die in an overturned truck accident. So we would never see that opportunity. But Davy Sands did fight several United States fighters. He fought Hawaiian's Carl Bobo Olsen, who was a middleweight champion, fought him twice, defeated him twice. But he was born February 4th, 1926, in Newport, Wales, Australia. He died August 11th, 1952. He was 26 years of age at the time of his death. Very young man in Wales, Australia. He stood 5 foot 10 inches and weighed 156 to 190 pounds. He had total bouts of 110, 97 wins, 62 KOs, 10 losses, and 1 draw. He was inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame in 1998. In the Australian Boxing Hall of Fame in 2009. Now, Davy Sands, like I said, his original name was Davy Ritchie. He was the 5th born child of 8 children. His dad, George Ritchie, was a rodeo rider and a timber cutter, meaning he cut trees. He was of Aboriginal and European descent. His mother, Mabel Neal Russell, and his uncle Bailey Russell and father were both bare knuckle fighters. His mother, Mabel Neal Russell, was a model, a beautiful model. In 1939, Davy Sands had trained with Percy McGuire and lived in the gym at the age of 15. Dave Sands took on his last unfortunate, along with his brothers. He took off his last name. He was not proud of that name. And the 5 brothers would decide to be called Sands. They took the name off the side of a guard Snowy Sands train. And Davy Sands would be born. Now on September 6th, 2 minutes and 35 seconds, he would win the British middleweight championship by knocking out Dick Turpin, who was the brother of Randy Turpin. Randy Turpin would be middleweight champion after he would defeat Sugar Ray Robinson. November 1949, Sands survived a car crash and a vehicle submerged in mud. That was a sign. But 18 months later, he would win 9 straight contests, and he would win the Australian Heavyweight Championship 15-round contest in 1950. But he couldn't get back down in time for the weight. And that's when Ray Robinson decided to try to meet him at the light heavyweight division when he took on Joey Maxim. And after losing to Maxim, Robinson decided to retire and go to tap dancing. And in 1952, Davy Sands would die. These two never had an opportunity to meet. That would have been one of the greatest fights of all times, in my opinion. Davy Sands would defeat Carl Bobo Olsen twice. Carl Bobo Olsen in 1953 would defeat Randy Turpin and get the middleweight championship strap. So salute to Davy Sands. Outstanding fighter. He won a championship in 3 weight divisions, but never got an opportunity to fight for the world title. Look up Davy Sands, Mosley's Boxing Channel. This is Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series, saying all great fights and all great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. Salute to my subscribers. Salute to this outstanding Australian middleweight, Davy Sands. After studying hundreds of fights with Les Dorsey, countrymen, he knew his style. He knew his finesse. He knew he could become champion.